Once I understood the three planes of money, I made $1 million and you can too. What I'm going to teach you is a way of thinking about money, abundance, and life so that it becomes a lot easier for money to enter your life. This isn't some woo-woo meditation that makes you think you're getting results, but you're really not. What I'm going to show you is one of the techniques I teach my clients who are closing 1K, 2K, 4K, 5K sales with information they already have in their minds. And we do this by using the three planes of not just money, but the three planes of existence itself. Let me show you what I mean. So your reality is broken up into three different planes of existence: the physical plane, the mental plane, and the spiritual plane. The physical plane is basically your current life or reality, the material things you have, the clothes you wear, the food you eat, the place you live in, even the money in your bank account. The mental plane is your thoughts, attention, concentration, willpower, and ideas. This plane is very important because it's the bridge between the physical world and the spiritual world. And speaking of the spiritual world, the third plane is the spiritual plane. The spiritual plane is made up of things you can't see: the energy of the universe, the vibes, the feelings, the emotions, the things you can't directly see, but you can feel. Everything on this planet, everything in your reality originates from the spiritual plane. This spiritual plane is home to what people would call God or Allah or the All, whatever people, religious or not, call it. It's responsible for creation. God is the creator of this reality, the creator of you, and the creation originates from God. And I don't mean God in the religious sense, but if that works for you to understand this concept, then that's totally fine. Everything that's in this physical world was created. And since it was created, the spiritual plane is where it starts. And you can think of it like a pyramid. The top of the pyramid is where all ideas come from, but they're not yet physical things, just feelings, emotions, and ideas. They fall down into the mental plane, and this is where you get an idea in your mind, but it hasn't materialized yet. And the bottom of the pyramid is the physical plane. And now the idea has gone from being in your head to being in the world. For instance, let's say you want to make some money and you decide to open a shoe store on a busy street corner. You first got the idea of having the shoe store. You feel what it would feel like to have a successful business. What would your life be like? What would you be doing? What would the store look like? What would your customers be like? What would your shoe store be like?
You're asking the wrong girl this question.
You don't even care about shoes.
No, I'll go barefoot in the grass.
You really will. You're not materialistic like that. So right now, all these ideas for your shoe store, they're ideas in your head. But everything in the physical world starts as an idea, from cell phones to water bottles. Everything was once an idea in someone's mind. So you decide you're going to take the actions to make this idea a reality. You get a business loan and you build your shoe store and you start making money. So in order to create your shoe store, you got an idea from the spiritual plane, you lived with it, you felt it and imagined it in the mental plane, and then you made it real in the physical plane. You follow me? Say yes. Yes. Spiritual, mental, physical. So now that you understand how the three planes work, how do you use them to make more money? Because that's what we're here for, right? Here to make more money. I'm going to share a story with you from one of our Next Realm members to show you how you can use these three planes to import more money into your life. One of our members, who I'm going to call Omar for privacy's sake, Omar was in a situation where he wasn't in the best living conditions. He was in a relationship that wasn't super great for his life, and he was living in a place that also wasn't super great for his life. And this caused a lot of money blockages for him, and I'll soon explain why. Stick around, you're gonna learn. After having some calls together, Omar realized that he needed to leave the relationship he was in and move into a new place. So he got the idea, conquered his fears, left the relationship, and moved into a nice condo with a great view. And all of a sudden, he started making more money. He started closing 4-figure sales. He increased his hourly rate for his services and people paid it. And he even got more fit. So how did this happen? Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you. But I need to tell you this beforehand. The condo Omar moved into cost a good bit more than where he was living before. And before, he was living with his ex. When he moved, he was living alone. So it was even harder. He didn't have a second income to help him. Sounds crazy, right? A lot of people will be like, what are you doing, bro? Why'd you move to a more expensive place? You know why.
Yes, but I know all the secrets of the universe. Call me the void.
That's why I keep you around. You know all the secrets of the universe. So he was spending more money, and it should have been a harder situation, yet his life improved in amazing ways. And this is all because of the three planes of existence. They allowed him to import more money and overall good things into his life. And it took 3 steps, which I'm going to guide you through. First, the spiritual plane. Omar felt something was wrong. He felt his situation needed to change. He felt unhappy and unfulfilled. Remember, feelings are from the spiritual plane. If you want the spiritual plane to work for you, you need to listen to your feelings and attune them to what you want. But we'll get to that soon. Secondly, he used the mental plane. He got the idea to leave the relationship. He got the idea to move to a new condo with an inspiring view. He got the idea to make more money once he moved. And he held those ideas in his mind. He held the feelings of how it would feel to move and have a fresh start. But it wasn't without fear though. He didn't just pick up and go. We had a good chunk of calls together before he conquered the fear. And fear is a dangerous thing. Fear is both an attractor and a repellent. Fear will attract the things you don't want to you, and it will repel the things that you do want. And everything you want is on the other side of fear. Anytime you conquer fear, it leads to positive benefits. I want you to look at your life and think of the times where you were scared of things and you did them and how they have benefited you. Almost every time conquering fear leads to better things in your life. So Omar conquered his fear and acted on his ideas. And action leads us to step 3 that Omar used, the physical plane. Action is what forms the physical plane. Everything here in this world, in your reality, every 3D thing you see, even things that aren't 3D and digital, it was action that formed them. So you can have an idea to be rich every single day of your life, but if you don't do something like start a business or offer a service, you're never gonna get rich. And all these manifestation weirdos on the internet will sit there and tell you to meditate in your room and just think about what you want and you'll get it, but they're selling you a dream. And I don't sell a dream. I just set the truth loose for free. Action is where people struggle the most, but I'm gonna help you with that. Just stick around. So back to Omar. He took the action to change his life. He left the relationship, he rented the new condo, and he went straight to work on his business. Now he's making more money, living a better life, with a new relationship, I might add. What Omar did is something I call a top-down approach to making money. So it started with the spiritual plane and moved down to the physical plane. But if you know anything about Hermetic philosophy, you'll have heard of the phrase, as above, so below. And what this means is that the 3 planes all reflect each other. Whatever's happening in the spiritual plane is reflected in the mental plane and the physical plane. Your life is the way it is because you think a certain way and you feel a certain way. You put your attention towards certain things and your concentration towards certain things. This is why your physical reality is the way it is. So the top-down approach is spiritual to mental to physical. But as I just said, all 3 planes are connected and reflect each other. So that means you can also use a bottom-up approach to get what you want. Pause. Bottom-up approach. Pause. Pause. Big pause on that, okay? Don't y'all start. But you can use the bottom-up approach to get what you want as well. You can actually use the physical to influence the mental, and then the mental will influence the spiritual, and you'll start getting what you want. Omar went to a better condo with a view. That's inspiring to him, and it makes him feel different. This changes his physical reality. Have you heard Steve Jobs say when he needed ideas, he'd go for a walk? Even Dan Coe says this. Some of you might know who he is. He says he goes for a walk. Why does this work? Because they're using the physical realm to influence the mental and spiritual realm. So when they're all cooped up inside, it may be harder for them to get ideas, but if they change their physical environment like Omar did, then they get inspiration, ideas, and positive emotions. That's why we go for walks. It changes the vibe. We get ideas when we walk, don't we?
And that's why women always want to move.
True. So true.
Because they just want to inspire the men in their life.
Y'all just want to go everywhere and do everything and don't like to stay put. But these sort of things, going for a walk, changing your physical environment, changing things in your physical space, it can actually help you get money. The biggest problem most people have is that they have zero motivation to act in the physical realm. It's too hard for them to do anything. They can't bring themselves to work out or clean their space or go for a walk or ask people if they're interested in what they have to sell. But remember, I said I was going to help you take action. I did not forget. So if you struggle to take action in the physical realm, here's what you do. Remember, the 3 planes reflect each other. So what you're going to do is use the spiritual and the mental planes to cause you to take action. Mainly the mental plane, and I'll show you how. I want you to imagine the dream amount of money you want to make per month. Maybe it's 10K a month, maybe it's 100K, maybe it's $1 million. Think about that number. Think about how it would feel when you're making that amount of money every month. How would it feel? And some of you are going to get super excited and super happy, and that's fine for a moment. But remember this, what if you were making that amount of money for 3 years straight? It would be pretty normal. You wouldn't be super excited about it all the time. You'd actually expect it. So how would it feel if you expected to receive your dream amount of money each month? Connect to those feelings. Now, while still holding those feelings, I want you to think about what you would be doing when you have that amount of money every month. What would your day-to-day look like? And don't make the mistake of thinking about what you would have. Your Lambo, your Rolex, your big house. Those are nice. You're going to have those things. But think about what you would do. Would you wake up early? Would you work out and be more fit? Would you work online? Who would you text? Would your space be clean? Okay, you can snap out of it now. The power with that exercise is when you practice to do it and really attach to the emotions of how you would feel, you won't need to force yourself to take action. It'll happen automatically because you're already becoming the person who has the things you desire, and you must be before you have. So if you have a clean space when you're making $100,000 a month, go clean your space so you can become that $100,000 a month person. If you take your wife out for dinner once a week, like I do, because she loves food. If you would take your wife out once a week for dinner, go take her out for dinner this week. If you'd be more fit, you'll automatically start working out. This works, and I'll give you a personal example. I used to not be able to wake up before 12 p.m. And this one over here would bother me about it. Yeah, you're wasting away the day. Oh my goodness. Nobody can wake up after 12 p.m. How do you live life? I wouldn't wake up before 12 p.m. And I'd schedule everything after 1 p.m. because I literally could not wake up no matter how hard I tried or whatever sleep techniques I used. It just didn't work. But the ideal version of me does not wake up that late. And I could never make the amount of money I wanted if I kept failing in that simple department of waking up early. So I practiced this exercise and I really connected to how it would feel as I would live my ideal life. So what happened? I started waking up at 7 and 8 a.m. with no alarm clock, fully energized. When you do this properly, you won't even have to try. You'll just do it. Like I've done, like Omar did, and now you get to do. So now you understand the 3 planes, how they work to import money into your life, and you need to learn about the greatest tool you have to make money, the bridge between the physical and the spiritual, your mind. So watch this video to learn how to master the mental plane and make more money. From me and wifey, peace.